once I started making meals, they were like, that actually looks good. Like, I want some of that. Can I have some? So it was, and they actually try to, do vegan a lot. It's harder because like I'm not there, or, and then they have busy lives. So, but they were pretty accepting of it. And my brothers and sisters are the same. They're all, those meals look good every time you're eating. And then they see me out on the basketball court, and I'm obviously healthy still, and I could still produce, if not better than what I was doing in college. So it's obviously working.
Yep. To the Ridiculously Blessed podcast. I'm your host, Tim Jackson. And today I have a guest, and we're going to talk a little bit about um, being a vegan and, eating what's right for your body and how you can do that as an athlete and an entrepreneur. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to today's guest. Julian, what's up, man?
What's up? How's it going?
Not bad, not bad. So, Julian, I was briefly introducing you to the guest, but man, I want you to introduce yourself. You know more about you, so talk a little bit about what you do and what you're doing.
Yeah, so my name is Julian Ramirez. I'm from Charlottesville, Virginia. I grew up in Palmyra, Virginia, right outside of Charlottesville. It's a little country town in the boondocks. We say it's the sticks. Some more sticks and roads out there. But yeah, I'm originally from New York. I lived there till I was about 13 years old. Then I came to Virginia. Went to college at Roanoke College and played basketball there. Graduated with a mathematics degree. And then since I got out, I've been juicing. I have a juicing company, so you can find us on Amazon, and it's juliansjuicebox.com. We ship nationwide. And I also helped found a professional basketball team here in Charlottesville, and this is our first season, so that's something I'm excited about as well.
Man, that's crazy, man. So tell me this: as an athlete, how did you get into um, just eating better and being a vegan? What was the first steps for you?
Yeah, so there was a aha moment for me. So there's plenty of different ways that people get to it. For me, there was one moment, and it was when I watched What the Health.
Mhm.
I don't know if you saw that documentary, but it was really powerful, and like it really just resonated with me. Being an athlete and learning how certain foods affect the body, it kind of just I had a light bulb moment, and I was like, man, if I want to produce better on the basketball court, I probably need to be eating this or eating that, because this is what happens to the body when you eat these foods now. So no wonder I'm sluggish at the end of games, and I'm huffing and puffing. I kind of put it all together, and it made sense after watching that documentary. So it helped me kind of realize what I needed to do. And once I took that step, I started trying out meals and realized like most of the stuff I was eating was already vegan. So that helped me transition. It was a lot easier than I thought it would be. I'm half Puerto Rican, half Irish. So a lot of the meals were like rice and beans and fried plantains and burritos. So I would just switch out, the beef with beans and rice and beans and chicken. Instead of chicken, I would just get mock meat chicken. So like there's Gardein chicken out there. Or I would do tofu and like chicken bowls. Like we would have like rice and bean bowls instead of chicken. I'll put tofu. So it was pretty easy to transition compared to what I thought it was gonna be. But yeah, those were the steps, and the major step, and then the steps I took to keep going.
Yep. And I know with me, when I switched to not eating meat, man, it's like after the first couple of days, I've had a boost of energy. Like I was thinking a little clearer and just
Yeah,
felt better. It was just weird. I felt better. Now, the problem I ran
yeah.
into was a few weeks down the road. You get hungry while you're out and about. There's nowhere to eat. So how did you manage those times?
So I realized, and this was sort of the same thing with the home meals that I was eating at home. A lot of them were easy substitutes. So when I went out and started eating at restaurants and stuff, I already had that in my mind that I just had to substitute maybe one thing or like remove the cheese on stuff. So if we go to places, when we look at the menu, it's kind of set up that way. You know, a lot of the meals are like, say a pasta, you know, like a chicken parm, or I guess a chicken parm would be a little tough, but it's like a chicken pasta with marinara sauce, right? You could just take the chicken out, and then you have your pasta, your marinara, spinach, mushrooms, no chicken, and that's a vegan meal. Salads, just take the chicken out and the parmesan off the top. Um, you know, fries are vegan, so fries are usually a side. So whatever the main course is, you might have to substitute something like a. I know a lot of places have black bean burgers now, so instead of a cheeseburger with fries on the side and maybe broccoli or green beans or whatever that is at a restaurant, you could just get a black bean burger instead. Remove the cheese. Everything else on there is vegan for the most part. Um, and there may be some little questions you have to ask the waiter or the waitress, you know, like, are the buns made with butter? Are the buns made with egg or something, you know? But there's ways to get around it, and there's ways to still eat vegan. And there's a lot more vegan options coming available now. You know, we're making that progression towards that lifestyle. So it's becoming a lot easier for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing I ran into was, coming from a family that loves to eat. My family loves to eat. When I explained to them,
Right.
I don't eat meat anymore. Man, the funny looks I got. Tell me a little
Yeah.
bit about that. How did your family do and friends when you told them, "Hey, I don't eat meat anymore"?
Yeah. So at first it was the same reactions and like what sprung that, you know. And then my family was just asking those questions, you know, like what made you do that. And I told them I saw this documentary and it wowed me, and you know, it's telling me this and telling me that. And they were like, well, I mean, it makes sense, like, you know, every time we eat these foods we feel better, so I don't see why, you know, that's not true. Sorry, I'm swiping up to get notifications out, but um, yeah, it was the same reactions, but then my parents were really accepted to it. They weren't, you know, they weren't really, you know, hard on me or like mad or trying to get me to come back. They're always supportive of anything I do, which is a blessing. So um, they were cool with it, and they actually wanted to start. Once I started making meals, they were like, that actually looks good, you know, like I want some of that. Can I have some? So it was, and they actually try to, you know, do vegan a lot. It's harder because like I'm not there, or you know, and then they have busy lives. So but they were pretty accepting of it. And my brothers and sisters are the same. They're all, you know, those meals look good every time you're eating. And then they see me out on the basketball court, and I'm obviously healthy still, and I could still produce, if not better than what I was doing in college. So it's obviously working.
Yep, and that was a big misconception too, because when I first started, people were like, "Man, how are you gonna have the energy to do anything?" Or, "How are you gonna build muscle or anything like that?" And another show that I watched was, I think it's called Game Changers, and it showed
Yeah.
athletes, transitioning over to veganism and vegetarian, and my mind was blown away again because I was like, "Wow, they do have more energy. They are able to produce at a higher level." Have you found other athletes with playing ball that are now transitioning to not eating meat?
Yeah. So there's a guy I know named Demario Maddox. Shout out to my guy Demario, but he already was a freak athlete, but to think that he could get any more freakish on the basketball court is crazy. But he actually, um, I'm almost positive he doesn't eat meat anymore, and he's always asking me about what vegan meals, you know, he can add in. I think he's like 99% vegan, but I saw the jump from his game, and it's crazy. Like people can't even hang with him, you know, to start. So like now he's unstoppable, and he's gotten older. So this is like 5 years, 6 years down the line from when I first met him, and he's like way better now, you know, and he's like unstoppable. And that's one of the people that I personally know. I don't know many vegans in general personally, but at least that play sports at a high level. But other than the people that I know, Demario, being one of them. I mean, we see it in Chris Paul. He's vegan. Kyrie Irving is vegan. Um, the world's strongest man, when that movie came out, when that documentary Game Changers came out, was vegan. Um, you know, there's a fighter, Nate Diaz
Mm-hmm.
is vegan. I don't know if he stayed vegan, but I know he was.
Yeah.
And
During
these are
the
top, top
during the
tier
Conor
athletes.
McGregor fight. Yeah, during the Conor McGregor fight.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, maybe he was vegan for that fight, but he's hard to keep up with. But yeah, these are top athletes, and a lot more athletes are going vegan. So it's the proof is in the pudding for sure. And in the one of the most, and going back to the Game Changers, one of the most eye-opening things I saw in that documentary was the three Miami Dolphins. I think it was the Miami Dolphins athletes. Is that right? Can you remember
Their dolphins are
the
tight.
test tube in their
Yeah.
blood?
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah. So that part really, like, I mean, I kind of knew it already, but like that, I'm hoping helps people see like what the difference is from these foods, and that's really what struck me right away. And while I was saying like I was coughing and huffing and puffing on the court, not coughing, but and just sucking up air at the end of games, and that example right there is why, like, because our blood is clogged, it can't flow as well, so our body's like really trying hard to recover so we could breathe at a steady pace because we're running and pushing so hard. If our body is clean and open, then it's going to be a lot easier for that oxygen to come in and get to where it needs to go, so we could be, you know we could still have that energy to perform at a higher level instead of getting tired and then fading out as the game goes on. So
Yep.
that was the eye-opening part in that Game Changers for me, and I hope for everybody else.
If you're enjoying this episode of Ridiculously Blessed, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. And to transition a little bit, you're also an entrepreneur, and one of the things you decided to do is juicing. Tell me, kind of, how did you get into that? What made you decide that was the route you wanted to go?
Yeah, so it was really organic, which I'm glad. I love when I look back. I'm like so happy how everything happened. Like I just was at a place after basketball in college, like where I didn't know what I wanted to do, what my next passion was, and then I saw the What the Health documentary. So that kind of like sprung that something new in me. So I wanted to spread this message of like plant-based lifestyle. So I started to eat that way, and then how social media is. It recommends things to you that you're already interested in or viewing. So then I started to get stuff about juicing on my Instagram and YouTube and stuff. So I saw that, oh, like, light bulb, you can make your own juice. They got to get on the shelf somehow, right? Like these fruits don't juice themselves. So because I never knew about juicing before that. So once I saw like they have these juicing machines out there, and you can just make it at home, I was like, man, maybe I need to be drinking just as clean as I'm eating. So then I started juicing, and I started sharing it on my profile and social media and stuff. And then friends started asking me, um, what is this stuff you're making? Like, what, it looks so colorful and vibrant. And I'm like, it's apple juice or grape juice or green juice. And they're like, can I have some? Like, can you make me some? I'm like, yeah, $5. This stuff ain't cheap. So we started the Walmart deal days where I was going to Walmart parking lot, meeting up with people, just looking over my corner,
Yeah.
looking over the shoulder, like I'm not doing nothing wrong. I swear, this is not what it looks like, maybe. But yeah, that's kind of how it started, and then it like grew. And when I found there was somebody that found me, excuse me, that I didn't know, and they said they wanted some juice, and I was like, all right, I need to take this thing to the next level and like make it a business, because I don't want to get anybody to sue me, if they get sick or something, because I don't know these people now. So
Mhm.
that's kind of how I found it, and then it kind of grew, and now we're shipping nationwide, and we're on Amazon, and it's been a fun ride.
All right. Now, one of the things I do know is that there is a transition period for like juicing and detoxing, and you have a detoxing program. Can you kind of explain, what that's like?
Sorry, what was that? One more time. There's a transition between juicing and what?
and getting getting your system cleaned out. And one of the things that you have is like a detox um, to help
Yep.
kind of get through that. Can you kind of explain what the detox is and does and how it works?
Yeah. So I think you're talking about the JJB juice cleanse. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So that's just there's many ways you could do it. So it's a day or multiple days on juice only, no solid food. So the idea behind that and cleanses in general, and why I recommend people to do a cleanse every once in a while, is because when we eat solid foods, taking that solid food, for example, a sweet potato, we have to get it. Our body has to break it down into a liquid form for it to go into our bloodstream to be used.
Hmm.
So that's very taxing on the body. So certain foods that we put in, meat, for example, takes 4 to 5 days to get in the body, broken down, processed, and then out of the body. And that's just one serving of meat. So any meal we're eating is going to take around a day to get in and out of the body. So we're eating 3 meals a day. So this can get backed up, and then our system is being overtaxed. And that's why, sometimes we have the itis and we're tired, and, we have brain fog and we're not as productive or functioning as well as we know we can. Um, which is why one of the main things business people do is they get their work done in the morning, because there's not a lot of food on their stomach and they're not heavy yet. They haven't filled up that tank. So with juice cleanses, you're turning that whole digestive system off, but you're still giving your body all the nutrients it needs to perform everything. You're basically doing the hard work for it by making turning those ingredients that you would be eating into juice. You're basically pre-digesting and chewing them, and getting the liquid out of them, so that way you could just put it straight into your system. So it's like a true 5 hour energy shot.
Hmm.
um, a lot more clean, a lot more natural for the body to use and absorb, and assimilate it to where it needs to go. So it's a lot easier on your body, and then you're allowed to turn that digestive system off, so that way your body it can do other things like clean and remove toxins, and get stuff out of the body that's been stored there because it's been on back order, and it hasn't been able to get to that lately because all these meals we're putting in, like we spoke about. So you know doing that every once in a while, helps your body rebalance itself and get back to like a clean slate, to where you can work productively and you're not, you know, overworked. So it's definitely something I recommend to do. I do one every 3 months, every turn of the season, or whenever I feel like I'm just a little sluggish and I've been overeating lately. But it helps you get back to like a clean slate, and then you can start from there and hopefully not overeat or overindulge, and stay balanced and eat foods that are going to be in and out quickly. Um, and then you can, when you're ready, you can do another one. And yeah, I think they're great.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed too is once I switched from eating meat, I didn't get sick as often. I don't know if that's just hey a one off thing for me, but have you noticed that your body kind of can take the changes in the season and those kinds of things a little bit better now that you're not eating meat or
Yeah,
anything? Yeah, I was wondering if it was
yeah,
just
for
me.
sure. Yeah, I've been sick. I can count them. I can count on one hand. I've been sick 2 times in the last 5 years since I've been vegan. One of them was a couple days. It hit me kind of hard. It was like a cold. Um, I had cough, headache, and sore throat. But I just downed green juice, and then that was over. And then the other one was like a day. And I did the same thing. I just pounded green juice, because green juice is super powerful. So has all the vitamins and minerals you need. So I definitely don't experience getting sick as much. And then if I ever do feel anything coming on, like the turn of the seasons, I might start sneezing a little here and there. I just immediately go get some juice or make some juice to flood my body with stuff that's going to help my body fight whatever it is off. And then, I feel better usually right away, if not by a couple hours. By the end of the day, it hardly ever lasts a couple hours. It's just like maybe I feel something coming on, like I said, the sneezing, and then it's gone. I forget about it.
Yep. Yep. Now, one of the things that I do outside of this is I kind of teach habits and routines and how they can help your life. One of the things is meal prepping. So, kind of walk me through what's your
Yeah.
meal prep like with creating your meals and juicing. What's your meal prep look like?
Yeah. So luckily, I have the juice business. So that was part of the reason why I started it too. I was like, making juice is time consuming. So, let me make it a business and I can have enough juice on hand at any time. So the mornings I usually do juice. And I just pop it out from my freezer. Because I freeze all the juice, by the way, and I ship it frozen so it can get to you and you can thaw it and drink it on your own time. So there's no rush because there's short shelf life. So I just pull out juices the night before. That's usually how I start my day. And then around halfway through the day, I usually have a smoothie. Smoothies take 5 minutes max. So everything's like ready prepped. Bananas are already ready to go. Frozen strawberries are in the freezer. Pop them out, pop them in the blender. Uh, put some coconut water. That's done in 5 minutes. The only thing that really takes a while to make, and it's maybe 15 minutes tops, is the salads I make at night. So so everything really is somewhat prepped except for the salad. So the juice is already made and frozen. So I do that on weekends, and then it's good for the whole week. The fruits are just sitting there ready, hanging on the banana rack for me, and then the salads are something that I have to kind of do on the spot, and then the salad dressing I make fresh as well. So that's kind of like what a normal day looks like for me.
Awesome, man. Yeah, it was a huge thing for me to meal prep because it gave me less time to think about my choices in a way because I knew I could go to the fridge,
Yeah.
grab out good food and eat it instead of just stopping, hit some Mickey D's on the way home or anything like that. I knew that
Right. Right.
there and I can take it with me. So yeah, that was a huge I guess hack to meal prep and be ready at all times. So, so the
Yeah, for sure.
next thing is, man, where can everybody find your juice? How can they connect with you and start to work with you a little bit?
Yeah, so the website is www.juliansjuicebox.com. You can also find us on Amazon. You just search Juice Cleanse, and we should be there on the first page. Sometimes they flip us around and give everybody a chance, so we might be on the second page. But you could just type Julian's Juicebox on Amazon, and it'll bring you right to us if you want to go direct. And then on Instagram, we're Julians with an S underscore Juicebox. Um, and you can connect with me there. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. So what's next for you, Julian? I mean, you got your business. You've got a book. You got your book, and you're balling too. So what's next for you?
Yeah, so I just recently purchased a Kangen machine. So I'm starting to, I've been using it for about probably like 3 to 4 months now. And I'm going to start talking about that a lot more because I'm already big on the liquid that we're intaking. And water is the top of the top when it comes to like what liquids we should be, taking in. But this machine and everything I've learned about it has blown my mind. And the company has a great team that kind of teaches you what different waters there are out there and how this machine is different from anything else. So yeah, I'm going to start talking about that more and trying to share the benefits of these machines. And I'm also a partner with them, so I'm going to be, you know, a salesman for them as well. So it's going to be part of what I share with the juices and the water. Is going to become a part of that. But it's called a Kangen machine. It's an ionizer. You connect it to your faucet at home,
Mhm.
and essentially what it does is it takes the water from your faucet. It goes into the machine. There's a carbon filter, and it separates the good water from the bad water. So it basically cleans it and keeps everything that should be kept in there. And then it sends it through 8 platinum coated titanium plates, and it gets an electric charge. And that's really where the power is in the water. So back in the day, when water was coming out of like a hot spring, naturally how it should, it had an electric charge to it, and it had tons of antioxidants that would help us reverse aging. So that's kind of what this machine mimics, and it's the only one that can do it in the world. It's patented, the whole process of it. But it's so mind blowing, the benefits of it and how it compares to other waters. Like there's these alkaline waters in stores, and they have ingredients. Like no water should ever have an ingredient,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So and then also there's a demonstration that, you know, that can be done where it shows the alkalinity of the water. And these waters, although they are alkaline in the store, they're not they're not antioxidants. So they're basically harmful to the body. The only reason they're reading alkaline is because of those ingredients in the water, but they're oxidants. So they're oxidizing the body, and they're not helping us reverse aging or remove things from the body where this water does. So it's super powerful. And we can, maybe we could talk about that another day, but it's super, it's everyone should have one in their home, I believe, because it's something that we should be drinking 8 ounces, 8 cups of water every day. So this is probably the number one thing we'll be ingesting, you know over a long period of time. If we add all the ingredients up, water is probably going to be the number one thing that we're ingesting the most. So we should be drinking the best quality water, in my opinion, and this machine would help us do that. So something I want to share going forward.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I can't wait to hear more about that. Now you got me intrigued, man. and,
Yeah,
because
it's crazy.
I know with my wife, being an aesthetic, she could tell by looking at someone's skin, if they've had enough water or anything like that. So, man, I know she's gonna love to hear
Yeah,
about that too. But man, again, I thank
yeah,
you for your time and sitting and talking to me. But before you get out of here, just a couple more things. Now, one of the things we talk about is in life. People say there's success and failures. I don't know if you've seen the show, but we talk about blessings and lessons. Anything that
yeah.
didn't succeed, we call it a lesson. So before you get out here today, just kind of tell us what's one thing that pops in your mind as a lesson you've learned over your journey, both with getting into being vegan and being an entrepreneur.
Man, that's a good question. Um, I would say that falling off track is part of the process. So we spoke on the raw veganism a little bit, and I was raw vegan for a year straight. Didn't cut any corners. Anything I put in my body was 100% natural, and it was more than a one ingredient food. So it was, I made salads, and there was more than one ingredient, but everything that went into the salad was a natural one ingredient addition to that salad. So I was eating as clean as possible and high vibrant food, and I fell off the track. So now I'm probably like 90% raw, 10% cooked. Um, and I was kind of beating myself up about it for a little while, but then I learned it was a lesson. It was, I to live that lifestyle, you need to have a good a decent amount of time to prep your meals, because like if you don't want to do a business and you have juice all the time, then you're going to have to make that juice, or you're going to have some sort of income to where you can purchase that juice, or you have the time to make it. So it's, you have to make it, or you have to be able to purchase it, or you have a business. So basically, it can take time. So I had to set up and get my lifestyle in a better situation. And I'm still doing that because I'm not 100% raw again. So I'm learning, like, it's a lesson that to live the lifestyle I want to, and to create that for myself, so that way it's not a problem, because there were things in my life that I was doing that weren't serving me, to where I was falling, that made me fall off the track. So it was just a lesson. It opened my eyes. Like, the reason I can't do raw vegan is because I'm spending time, or I'm giving time doing these other things. And then last second, I'm like, I'm hungry. I'm just going to go to, you know, Chipotle or something and just get a bowl because it's easier than making a full salad because I've had a long day. But, I learned that lesson through that. So basically, not to be hard on myself, and just to kind of be aware of what's happening, and why I'm about to get hard on myself, why I'm about to kind of, judge myself on why I'm going back to raw, and what that really was, and then taking a lesson from it. I hope that kind of made sense. That was a good
Yeah,
question. But
it does, man.
yeah,
It's one of the things that I fell into was I'm a critical self assessor, if that makes sense. It's like I'm harder on myself for
yeah,
the things that I do wrong because I know better, and
yeah,
that could cause you to kind of go a little further back. So then when you
yeah,
change it, you tend to you'll go over the top to change it because hey, I got to change this to be better. But the good thing is, like you said, it's a lesson because you got to peek at the life that you want, and it's attainable. If you just put certain steps in, then it makes it that much easier. You see that it's possible.
yeah, for sure. I
Got you.
agree 100%.
So the last thing is the blessing. What's the one blessing that stands out? Not saying you only have one, but like what's that one thing that pops out and you're like, man, I never would have thought this, years ago coming out of college. I never would have thought this would happen to me, and it has.
Man, I would say that's an easier question. It would be the just somehow stumbling across that What the Health documentary. That had such a big impact on me. And I was growing up, I was 8 glasses of water a day. I was 8 glasses of milk a day. I was a milk drinker.
Mhm.
And then I had cheese on every meal. I had, eggs in the morning with cheese, grilled cheese for lunch, or cheeseburger, lasagna at night. I had cheese, but that's milk as well. I was a big dairy guy,
Yeah.
cereal with milk, everything. So I never, in my wildest dreams, ever thought that I would be eating this way, um, and not eating meat, and all the fried foods that we had in my family, fried chicken, fried bananas, everything was fried. But to be eating the way I'm eating and living the lifestyle I'm living, I never would have thought that would have happened. But if I didn't see What the Health, and I didn't stumble across that, and that was, brought into my life for whatever reason, well, I know the reason, but that was a blessing that I was able to come across that, because that knowledge changed my view of the world, really. And I couldn't be more grateful that I saw it, because now I'm living in my, like, looking back, I think I wish I would have known it earlier, because I love the life that I live now, and I love talking about this stuff and having these conversations and sharing this knowledge that I found out with everyone, and people that are wanting to learn it, and wanting to know more about it. And it's a joy, and it's a blessing that I'm able to do it.
All right, man. All right, I appreciate that. So, man, again, before you get out of here, let's get how everybody can get in contact with you, how they can follow you on social media, and any projects you got coming up, man. And now's the time. Let me give you a few seconds to kind of plug yourself here. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, self love. Yeah, it's just, if you want to order juice, you can find us at the juliansjuicebox.com website, Instagram Julians_juicebox, or on Amazon. Um, I just got my vegan nutrition and plant-based health coaching certifications. So I also am doing that. I have a plant-based 22 program that's out now. You can find that on the website as well. It's basically 22 days of converting to eating plant-based, and then hopefully from there you'll be able to take it on. We've got a couple people doing that now. And then also the Kangen machine. I recommend getting one, and you can reach out to me through the website or Instagram if you want to learn more about that, and we can talk a little bit further about what that does and why it's good for you. And yeah, just keep an eye out for anything coming up in the future.
All right, man. All right. I appreciate your time, man. We made it through. We had technical difficulties and everything, and we're gonna do this again. We're gonna sit down with you again. We're gonna do it in person once we get past this COVID nonsense, man. We're gonna,
Yeah, for sure, for
yeah,
sure.
for sure. And
Yeah, I'll be down.
looking forward to getting some more information from you and you helping me on my journey to eating right and being healthy and living a long, happy life, man. That's it's part of being ridiculously blessed. Is we want to do it for a long time. So appreciate you,
Yeah.
brother. Man, I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening next for you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me.
All right. Thank you for watching the Ridiculously Blessed podcast. Find more episodes on YouTube at Ridiculously Blessed Podcast.